Hi, this is Bob Swanson again, astronomy instructor at ICC, and I wanted to, first of all, give you a little more explanation as far as the signs of the zodiac. A lot of folks are interested in the signs of the zodiac and really don't understand it. So I wanted to give you a little tour of my classroom because I have the signs of the zodiac in my classroom. I've got them hanging from the ceiling, so if you kind of take a stroll with me, I'll show you that, well, first of all, there's Taurus, and here's Gemini. I've created a little loop on the outside of my classroom. Here's Cancer, flipped around here, and Leo, etc., etc. I've got a little loop that will take you around the outside of my classroom, and I also have 4 signs that are hanging on kind of the inside loop, and those are the the solstices and the equinoxes. So there's the winter solstice, and then I've got the fall equinox, and over there is the summer solstice, and then we have the spring equinox. There it is. So I've got these 2 loops. I've got an outside loop, I've got an inside loop. And I do an activity with my students in my traditional astronomy class where we actually walk around in a circle, and we are playing the part of the Earth. And of course the Earth orbits the Sun. So at the center of my circle then is a yellow balloon that represents the Sun. And in addition to orbiting the Sun, of course, what else does the Earth do? The Earth rotates on its axis once a day, once every 24 hours. And so we play the part of the Earth to show not only the motion of the Sun in the sky during the course of one day, but also the motion of the Sun with respect to the background stars over the course of a year. So I'm going to put my camera kind of over here at a distance so you can get a full view of me as well as the Sun. So there's the Sun, and I'll get in position. And so notice the way I do this is I extend my arms. My left arm is my eastern horizon. My right arm is my western horizon. And so therefore I'm going to spin counterclockwise when viewed from above, just like the Earth does. And sure enough, when my left arm is pointed toward the Sun, that's sunrise. And then as I continue to rotate, I'm seeing the Sun. I'm facing the Sun. In fact, the Sun is highest in my sky right now. That's noontime. And I continue to rotate, and sure enough, the Sun, my right arm is pointed toward the Sun. That's sunset. Now it's nighttime. I can't see the Sun. So let me now put you in that, give you a feel for that. So we're going to start out, there's the Sun, okay? And so what's going to happen is you're going to be rotating, your left arm is now pointed toward the Sun. It's sunrise. Where's the Sun? There it is. There's sunrise. The Sun climbs high in your sky, it's noontime. You're continuing to rotate. The Sun is now on your right arm, which is sunset. And we continue around, and it's now nighttime. You can no longer see the Sun. So we rotated one time around, and then sure enough, boom, there's sunrise again. Okay, so you've done one full spin. Okay, that is the rotation of the Earth, that happens in one day. So you see the Sun rise, you see the Sun climb high in the sky, you see the Sun set. Now notice where, with respect to the background stars, was the Sun on this particular day. Remember, there's the Sun, and if you can look up against my wall there, I've got a sign. In fact, it's Virgo, is the sign that the Sun appears to be in line with. And notice that whether it's at daybreak when my left arm was pointed toward the Sun, or when my entire body, until I was facing the Sun, or when my right arm was facing the Sun at sunset, the Sun still appeared to be in Virgo. So this particular date, which is mid-September, in fact, I'm right under the fall equinox sign, so that tells me the time of the year that I'm at. So sure enough, if I'm born in mid-September or late September, the Sun is in Virgo, not just at daybreak, but during the entire day and at night. See, the Sun's in Virgo. When I spin one full time, it's still going to be in Virgo. whether it's daybreak, noontime, and so therefore we would say that my zodiac sign is Virgo. Now I grew up thinking that I was a Libra, but it turns out that I've been a Virgo all this time. So I feel bad for those poor people who have tattoos of their astrological sign because most likely they're actually off. And the reason being, when those astrological signs were set up, which was thousands of years ago, the Earth's axis was pointed in a different direction. The Earth's axis actually wobbles. It's a period of about 26,000 years, and therefore, since the signs were initially set up, the Earth has wobbled, and therefore the zodiac signs have precessed as well. So I'm actually a Virgo. Now let me show you how this works. That was during the course of one day, and the sun appears to be essentially in Virgo, in line with those background stars, the entire day. But over the course of weeks or months, what happens is I work my way around my classroom. As I continue to spin, I also need to orbit the sun. So over a course of several weeks and months, I wind up over in another part of my classroom. This is about a quarter of the way around. In fact, now I am at the winter solstice. It's December. There's the sun. So notice that you play the same game. The sun can rise when your left arm is pointed toward it. That's noontime, when you're essentially facing the sun. And then as you continue to rotate, now your right arm points toward the sun. That's sunset. And now this is nighttime. And I am seeing an entirely different set of constellations in my nighttime sky. I see Aries, I see Taurus, I see Gemini, I see Orion. Orion is a very, very well-known winter constellation. I don't see it in the summertime because it's in my daytime sky in the summertime. But in the winter, it's in my nighttime sky because of the position of the sun in its orbit around the position of the Earth in its orbit around the sun. But now if I go back to the sun, I see, okay, where is the sun rising right now? Well, it's rising. You can't see these signs way back in the back of my classroom, but it is in line with Scorpius and Ophiuchus. So if you're born in December, you're most likely either a Scorpio or an Ophiucan. And again, whether it's the sun rising, noontime, sunset, or even at nighttime, the sun is still in Scorpius. It's amongst those background stars. And that's the way the signs of the zodiac work. Again, hopefully that makes it a little more clear. You can play around with the simulation that is part of the Module 3 lab activity. There's a whole thing about the signs of the zodiac. But again, I do this with my traditional classes. We all stand up, we act like the Earth, we spin around, we go around the balloon, around the classroom, just to get a feel for the daily motion of the sun. The sun appears to move from east to west in our sky, and it appears to be stuck amongst the background stars. But that's just over the course of one day. Over the span of several weeks or months, the sun is not stationary with respect to the background stars. The background stars we treat to be stationary. They're so far away. Our sun is not that far away. And therefore it appears to move with respect to those background stars. Why? Because the Earth orbits the sun one full time in 365 days.